Bitmain taking equity in Core Scientific as they emerge from bankruptcy. Txbit is closing down, Space Mesh SMAP update, and Rainbow Miner joins the Great White North. All that and more in today's episode of Blocks, where I cover cryptocurrency news as quickly as possible from the perspective of a cryptocurrency miner. Let's get into it. Core Scientific, one of the biggest publicly listed Bitcoin miners, is making waves as it emerges from Chapter 11 proceedings. And guess what? Bitmain, the powerhouse behind some of the most powerful mining rigs out there, and Anchorage Digital, a prominent crypto platform, are all set to take equity stakes in Core Scientific. According to the court documents filed recently, Core Scientific is planning to buy a whopping 27,000 units of the Bitmain Antminer S19J XP, the top-tier air-cooled model, for a cool $77.1 million US. Now, here's the kicker. Part of this purchase will be made with $54 million worth of equity in the company itself once the reorganization takes place. What's the big deal about this equity stake, you ask? Well, this smart move by Core Scientific helps them save a substantial $30 million, which they would have otherwise needed in new cash. It's like they're tapping into the power of crypto synergy. And here's something that caught my eye. This marks Bitmain's likely first foray into taking a stake in a publicly listed miner. A significant step for them for sure. And they've been keeping things pretty hush-hush, as they didn't respond to CoinDesk for request for comment. Now, we might say this is mysterious, right? But as you know, Bitmain on the back end with their plots behind cryptocurrency and the way they operate has always been quite hush-hush, especially as we're seeing with all of the altcoin crypto miners around, such as Kaspa, Kadena, and so on, Dash, whatever it may be. They have certain business practices that also participate in market manipulation, as some may speculate, but that's for the tinfoil hats later on. Now, it's not just Bitmain getting in on the action. Anchorage Digital, which had a $29 million loan to Core Scientific at the time of bankruptcy, is also expected to opt for the equity option. It's all about strategic moves and securing their positions in the ever-evolving crypto landscape. But wait, there's more. Core Scientific isn't stopping there. They're also in talks about a $55 million equity rights offering for their current stockholders. Plus, they're getting a boost from B. Riley, the investment bank, that's converting a $70 million loan into a delayed term loan and injecting an extra $25 million in new financing. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, Core Scientific, even after filing for bankruptcy back in 2022, has managed to navigate the stormy waters of the crypto industry. With their strategic partnerships and innovative financing approaches, they're aiming to stay at the forefront of the mining game. From my perspective, it is good that Core Scientific will still manage to stay afloat, as it will hopefully help with decentralization of hash power in the ever-changing landscape of crypto. As we've seen a lot of mergers and acquisitions taking place, the consolidation of hash power has been pretty significant over the past year since this bear market began. The Txbit journey is coming to an end, and it's happening sooner than we'd like. On September 14th, 2023, Txbit will officially close its doors. I know it's quite a shock, and it's tough news to digest, especially considering they're one of the few non-KYC options within the United States for smaller cryptocurrencies. The reason behind this decision is complex, but the primary factors include the shifting landscape of regulations and legal uncertainties surrounding cryptocurrencies in different countries, of course, the US being the primary one. The world of crypto is a dynamic one, and sometimes external factors can force even well-established platforms to make hard choices. It's not just about market dynamics, it's also about the rising costs of compliance and the constant pressure on profit margins. In essence, the challenges have become too overwhelming for tech Txbit to continue operating in the way they envisioned when they started their journey. I can feel the weight of this announcement, and I'm sure many do too, but the Txbit team isn't leaving you hanging, at least for the most part. On August 14th, 2023, they'll be offline for about an hour to cancel all open orders and close down the trading feature. After that, they'll be back online, allowing you to withdraw your funds until September 14th. And here's the crucial part. If you have funds on Txbit, make sure to withdraw them before that date. Anything left after September 14th won't be retrievable, so let's be proactive about this to avoid any regrets down the line. Now, some of you might be wondering about the fate of Txbit's native token. Well, fear not, the remaining non-circulated supply of Txbit tokens will be burned, marking the end of an era. But the token will still be tradable on PancakeSwap, so there's a silver lining there. However, I bet there will be absolutely no liquidity and no possible way for you to exchange it for anything of any value whatsoever. Before we move on, I do want to use this as a reminder to not keep your cryptocurrency on exchanges. There are already reports of denied withdrawals from Txbit, primarily due to being under a certain threshold. The highest amount I've heard of so far is $25 US. Now, that might not sound a lot, and by definition of their support, they say that's just pennies. I can kind of understand where they're coming from in this kind of large shutdown process. However, this is just another reminder to not keep your cryptocurrency on exchanges. Me personally, I put it on exchanges to pay bills and convert from different cryptocurrencies or even trade for a little bit. But at the end of the day, when I'm done, I make sure to pull that cryptocurrency into a private wallet. This should be normal practice for you if you don't want to lose anything with any other exchange shutdowns, which is highly likely with all of the regulations surrounding it in the United States right now. Earlier today, the team behind Space Mesh issued the version 1.0.15 update, packed with alterations that could significantly impact your Space Mesh experience. For those inclined towards detailed insights, this release comprised a total of 10 commits since the previous one. That's a considerable amount of work. The focal point, however, lies within the compiled binaries. These binaries cater to a range of platforms including Windows, macOS, and ARM, and Linux with the app image 64-bit and ARM64. Furthermore, GPG signatures are provided for both x64 and ARM64, bolstering security measures. Now let's shift our focus to the altered aspects of this update. The Go Space Mesh library has been updated to version 1.0.17, suggesting a potential enhancement in performance and efficiency for the Space Mesh ecosystem. Another alteration relates to rewards. Eligible layers for rewards are now sorted thanks to work done by the developers in issue number 1437. This could possibly streamline the rewards tracking process. Moreover, the Space Mesh team eliminated old workarounds for rewards and curbed excessive retries when querying balances. This change was made in response to issue 1444 and the contributors. The goal seems to be refining the Space Mesh experience. I talked about how to mine Space Mesh earlier last week or later last week, so make sure you check that out if you're interested in the project. Now we have an update from Rainbow Miner version 4.8.9.9. This update might be labeled as a hotfix release, but trust me, it's got some cool stuff that you'll definitely want to know about. So let's dive right in and see what the Rainbow Miner team has cooked up for us this time. First up, let's talk miners. They've added a brand new miner, the 10 Miner version 1.2.2, designed for NVIDIA GPUs. And that's not all. They've also updated the SRB Miner multi-miner to its latest version 2.3.2. This updated version supports AMD CPU, Intel, and NVIDIA. Rainbow Miner does not play favorites. It's got something for everyone. Now here's something interesting as well. They've temporarily disabled NVIDIA for dual Dynex mining. The developers are working on it, and rest assured, it's a hiccup that'll soon be ironed out. On the pool section, they've been hard at work here too. The ECA pool has been updated, and guess what? They've added Zeph to the mix. And while they're making room for new additions, they've decided to wave goodbye to a Pepe proof of work because of it completely being a failure. It's out of the pool. And if you're mining from the Great White North, you're in luck. Red Panda Mining, Rainbow Miner now supports a new region, Canada. It's about expanding the horizons, and hopefully RPM catches on to Rainbow Miner at some point here. Of course, a core update wouldn't be complete without some essential changes. Rainbow Miner has updated various files like coinsdb.json, the ETH DAG sizes.json, miner SHA-256.json, and more. They've even made sure that web requests sail through without any unnecessary certificate checks. And don't worry about those miners, they've got you covered. They've updated miner APIs.psm1 and fixed the Rigel fail issues, especially when it comes to Zilica mining. It's all about keeping things running smoothly. So there you have it, miners and crypto enthusiasts, the lowdown on the Rainbow Miner version 4.8.9.9 update. It's proof that the Rainbow Miner team is on top of their game, constantly refining the experience for you. Finally, we have some awkward news from Dynex and Sumitomo over there, as Dynex has been listed on MEXC for the futures pair. Now, there's obvious controversy surrounding this because MEXC and their future pairs have been a detriment to projects in the past, even causing some issues surrounding Caspa and pretty massive manipulation. Sumitomo did release a statement from MEXC's response because he did request that they do not utilize any perpetual or futures trading pairs for Dynex. In response, MEXC said, "Thank you for your request and feedback. However, our management team have already made the decision to enable the Dynex perpetual futures trading pairs based on the high demand from our community users. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and hope you understand." Now, obviously, this is an issue that's been going around, like I said, with other smaller cryptocurrencies for quite some time, and it can cause some pretty heavy manipulation on the price. But from the perspective of decentralization and so on, it's kind of expected that you wouldn't be able to control this aspect from the developer team side. So while Dynex has been able to control the pool behaviors by limiting their hash rate, etc., and control a lot of other aspects of this cryptocurrency in particular compared to the control developers have over other cryptocurrencies, it seems like it's a moot point when it comes to trading in future pairs on MEXC. Let me know what you think about the future pairs for Dynex on MEXC down in the comment section below. Thanks everybody for watching. That's going to wrap up today's episode of Blocks. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bells down below. Don't forget to check me out on Locals at sonofatech.locals.com for my daily moves. You can become a supporter over there, and you can get a month free of supporter status with a purchase of my crypto mining e-course at sonofatech.com. Thanks everybody once again for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday.